What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see you too. So listen, look. Let me help y'all understand something in case y'all don't know. A person that is severely narcissistic, it's a real term. They labeled it. These are people that do anything and everything to get ahead. They study people who have empathy's behavior. They use it against them to get ahead in life, right? Something that I know to be true is the fact that for the moment, it may seem as if you're getting everything you want out of life because you're so narcissistic that you're putting yourself ahead of everyone else, right? You're even watching people suffer so that you could get ahead, right? But something I don't think they realize is the fact that as you get older, you tend to lose all the things that you thought you were going to get by being an evil person and using someone else's vulnerabilities against them to get ahead. You start to lose everything. Everything starts to become stripped from you, right? And you get to a point where you finally need help and you have no one to help you. You feel me? It's not funny, but then it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? You probably never had to face the consequences and repercussions of the things that you have done and the people that you have played on and the energy you thought was never going to return to you until you sat with those burdens and they turned into internal sicknesses to where that very love that you tried to suck out of other people, you now need for yourself. And it will not be returned to you because people understand the nature of who you truly are. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if they become extremely empathetic because they want someone to feel bad for them. You know what I'm saying? Even though they didn't care about how they were to other people. You know what I'm saying? How they sat down and learned and studied people to use their emotions against them, thinking that they were never going to grow old. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that they were going to stay young forever. And when those illnesses start kicking you in the face, it's almost as if the very same people that you ran off are the very same people that you wish would come to your aid and help you. You know what I'm saying? It's almost nearly impossible to help a person break out of that narcissistic mentality. Now, can it happen? I do believe it can, but I'm kind of pushing it. You know what I'm saying? But for real, I think a lot of people tend to underestimate the fact that I believe truly a lot of older people are bitter and miserable, especially from my culture, simply because they had that mentality of, let me, you know what I'm saying, get over on somebody else and use them first before they have a chance to do it to me, even if it's wrong, to get ahead in life. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm older and I'm on my last leg of life, that same very love that I ran away from at a younger age, I now crave, and I have no one. Absolutely no one. And my body is breaking down. And I'm trying to remain strong, but it's really hard. You know what I'm saying? So think of having those emotions you felt when you were abandoned or somebody did you wrong resurface and bubble up at the top when you become older, because everything you did to create your life was a mask, and people really truly found out who you were for real, and they didn't want to deal with you anymore. So you get older and now you alone, and you don't know how to process those feelings that you had when you were younger. The only thing you did was flipped it and changed it into being evil towards other people. So when you get older, you still don't know how to process those emotions. But now you're craving the love that you wish you would have had when you was younger, and you become miserable. You know what I'm saying? Evil, spiteful, even more. I think it gets worse. You know what I'm saying? As you're older versus when you were younger. You know what I'm saying? Because that feeling of wanting to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Especially when your body is breaking down and you have all these illnesses and you can't move and you need somebody's help. But no one wants to help you because you pushed everybody away. You glorified money. Money can't help you when you dying of cancer. Maybe you can hire some doctors, but those doctors are not going to stand by your bedside, you know what I'm saying, and glorify you and praise you and let you know how much you were an asset to their life. They're only there to do a job. And so once their scheduled time is over, they leaving. You know what I'm saying? And listen, think about it. Some of those people, caretakers, they're passionate in what they do. You know what I'm saying? And they actually care for older people, but they have a life too. And then some of them are just putting on a mask. You know what I'm saying? You paying them to put on a mask. But still, it don't take away someone genuinely loving you for real when you on your deathbed dying of cancer and you need your diaper changed. You need somebody to feed you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no money pay for that. And if you don't got no money, you definitely ain't gonna get that type of care around the clock. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you decide to do hospice at home. You got to have somebody because you can't take care of yourself. But if you don't have nobody, then you got to go to the hospital and be around people that you don't know, that don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, to be able to be at a point now where everybody's version of life may be different, you know what I'm saying? But for me personally, I think the barrier on narcissism can be broken if people now have the ability to look at who they've been all their life, which may not really be them, but the wounds that you carried on and how you perceived yourself. And if you break out of that, you'll be very more considerate to understanding other people's lives, so that when you do become old, because we all gonna get old, it's only one life, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna wish that you had someone that loved you enough to care about you and come check up on you, you know what I'm saying, and sit with you and see how you doing, not give you $150 and walk away. Like, come on now, I can't even move. What the fuck is $150 gonna do? I can't even go spend it nowhere because I gotta get pushed in a wheelchair. Meaning, it don't nobody push me in a wheelchair and put me in the car. I can't even spend this $150. Now, granted, they do got delivery and Amazon and all that, but listen, when you're older, you ain't worried about that. You worried about trying to live your last moments of life. And it'd be nice if someone came and picked you up, took you to the park, talked to you, you know what I'm saying, help you understand how you gave to the world. Because granted, narcissism is highly developed in people because of their life. They do contribute in a way to life, you know what I'm saying, especially if they were important to you and you loved them anyway. They added value to your life, you know what I'm saying, but they're gonna perceive it wrong, but still, it doesn't hurt to try, you know. But I think that's very important that people understand that your race to the top and you hurting other people to get there, and then when you get older and you don't got nobody, that feeling is the same feeling you felt as a child. And because you didn't heal it, you now are sitting back with those same emotions. You have no one to call. No one checks up on you, because a lot of times narcissism is used in a form where the people that do call and check up on them, they're basically manipulating their emotions to get the fake compassion. But really, it's manipulation, because they don't know how to genuinely love someone because of their feeling of being abandoned. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and when you do decide to give those people benefit of the doubt because you love them and you go check up on them and see how they're doing, you have to be strong in your boundaries and who you are. You have to have limits, because I promise you, if you don't, when you leave them, you're going to feel drained as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting a dose of medicine and then nothing cures the problem, though. And you end up taking that medicine for years. You know what I'm saying? Because they may feel good for the moment, but when you leave there, you feeling depleted because that energy exchange is not something that they're using to motivate their growth. It's something that they're using to simplify whatever they're feeling for the moment while you walk away feeling drained. But over time, they're still the same person. You get what I'm saying? You got to be strong as hell for that. Because if you're not, they will drain every ounce of life you have out of you. It will start as a good moment. You'll go over there. You'll probably bring them some food. And then they'll start talking about their life and how it was miserable. And how you going down the wrong path. And how you doing this. And by the time you leave there, you're going to feel drained. So you got to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them don't realize that as they grow older, they don't change. You know what I'm saying? They're still the same people. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why you alone and miserable and thinking of negative thoughts because you have done that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have pushed everybody away for the need of fake gratification. And when the gratification walked away, now you are left feeling those feelings again all over. And it's an emotional thing, but it's the same thing if you're doing drugs. The feeling only lasts for so long. You go to get sober, all those emotions come running back. And the reason why people go out and you know what I'm saying, do drugs again is because they're left feeling those feelings all over. You know what I'm saying? It's like a repeated cycle over and over again. Like at some point you have to realize how to cut the cycle off. You know what I'm saying? If it's causing you too much emotional damage, too much emotional stress, you have to realize how to cut the cycle off, because people will constantly come around trying to penetrate your energy with their negative aspect of how they feel about who they are. You know what I'm saying? That's just how some people are. You know what I'm saying? And they feel some type of way about it. And it's crazy because if you knew now what you probably knew then, you would understand how to control yourself. Because you know what I'm saying, as you get older, and one day we all gonna die at some point, you know what I'm saying. And listen, let me tell you something, there ain't gonna be no freaking enough money that could be able to pacify for the fact that, you feel me, you're a miserable individual and you keep running people off and running them away, and then when you need somebody, you don't got nobody around. So what happens is you fake like, you feel me, you love someone, you have them come over only to drag them down again. It's insanely crazy how the cycle repeats over and over again. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people should understand and create boundary systems for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because when you love somebody, you love hard. But at the same time, these people, if they can drain you of your energy, they will. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us are just now understanding the personality behind someone who's hugely narcissistic. But because we were blind to it at first, we didn't know what these people and their traits carried. A lot of us left feeling hurt, feeling abandoned. Like, dang, how can you love somebody so much and they just put you down, make you feel worthless, put everything else over you? Because these are very narcissistic individuals. They don't look at or have empathy for other people's situations. They only want you to have empathy for them. So whatever you're going through, they're going to twist it and make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, it's your fault, instead of them understanding who they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good while you young and people don't understand, you know what I'm saying, the true asset of who you truly are. And then finally, you know what I'm saying, you get to an age where you breaking down and you ain't got no more money. You know what I'm saying? You stay trying to cling on to that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So you try to reach out in all areas, trying to cling on to that lifestyle. But nobody is willing to give you the energy of love to be able to attract the money. So now you left feeling broken all over again. Listen, let me tell you something. The emotions that a narcissistic person feels is something that they don't want to feel. So when they get to a point where they're feeling those emotions, they will do anything that they can to run away from those emotions. I think that's why a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, there are people who suffer from addiction, because that's the same repeated cycle. I don't want to feel. I don't want to go through what I'm going through. So I'm going to take these substances to live in the moment and not rehash the thoughts of the past. So therefore, I can continue to stay in this method of thinking to where, You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt who I am, but I don't know how to heal that. I just know how to repeat the cycle. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like half of the population understands or have someone that they know that is, you know what I'm saying, dying from a disease or a health concern. And you will be wrong if you don't go and check up on them, but people don't seem to think about what they put you through in life. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why you may be loving them from a distance. The reason why you may not be so encouraging to come and rescue them and save them. You know what I'm saying? It's simply because they've been a narcissistic person all their life. They only thought about themselves. And now you need my help and you want me to come rescue you? I don't have to. And you're not going to make me feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, these people get worse. Some of them get worse with time. They do not get better. They just figure out a way to adjust to people's personality styles and what they like and fit their way in to acclimate it, so that when the tide breaks, they're going to come out and be the same person they've always been. You know what I'm saying? So understand and realize and know if you're dealing with someone like that, they get worse with time. They don't get better. You know what I'm saying? So if you continue to stay stuck in that cycle, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.